everyone! Welcome to our 8th COVID-19 update this year. It is the end of October, and yeah, fall is officially here. Halloween's around the corner, and we are still sitting at home. Well, most of us are, but trying to figure out what's happening with everything. Hi, Jocelyn! And yeah, I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm sure we are all super exhausted about the whole pandemic and wondering when the end is coming. Um, 2020 is almost over, and looks like we're not going to have any events this year. Uh, for those of you who don't know, we have postponed WLT, our Winter Lysol Takeover, that's scheduled to be in Whistler next month. We have postponed it to 2021. And it's a good thing we did because in BC, their new regulation is now no more than 6 people at a time in a gathering. So, yeah, we couldn't have put Whistler on this Whistler takeover on this year. So we postponed it, just like we did with our summer Lysol takeover, and hopefully 2021 will be better. Hi, Harold. Um, New news for today is that we have also postponed our tropical lifestyle takeover that was supposed to be in Puerto Vallarta in February. We are postponing that to 2022 due to the number of cases that are increasing around the world. And as I'm sure you've heard, second wave is absolutely here. We are in flu and cold season on top of that. So it was in our best interest, in everyone's best interest, to just push everything for a year, just to give the world enough time to get a handle on the pandemic, and hopefully a vaccine will come, or at least a effective treatment will be found so that we can start having events again. If you are booked for Naughty Nolans, they are still scheduled to happen in New Orleans next month, so check your inbox for all the details that way. For us Canadians, everybody who booked with me to go to Naughty has postponed basically transfer their order to 2021 just to be on the safe side, especially since the border is still closed. You can still fly into the States from Canada, but the land border is closed until at least another month. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. And what I'm doing with this Facebook Live is to kind of give everybody an update on how things are going for events around the world, what's happening where that we know of, and what's coming up for us in the future. So 2020 was basically a write-off in a very bad way. We I'm so happy and so glad that we were able to go to Belize in February for our tropical lifestyle takeover, because the memory of being on the beach, being in the sun, is kind of sustaining me through these dark, dark times. And those of you who are with us in Belize, I hope that you're having the same memories as well, to be able to kind of think about our trip and being in a really cool country. Belize, speaking of Belize, they actually just opened up the borders. The airport was shut down for basically most of the year, and the government of Belize has finally opened up the airport, which means that you can technically fly into Belize if you want to. Um, I don't know when my next flight's going to be, um, because I've canceled basically every trip, all my scouting trip, all my research trip to Maldives and Australia and things like that. So I have to push everything forward, at least till 2022, perhaps even 2023. So for those of you who are interested in joining us in Maldives or Australia, just keep an eye out on the newsletter. I will be sending out more information probably closer to mid 2021, once I have an idea of whether I can actually go to those places for a scouting mission. Um, Thanks, Jocelyn. Um, Jocelyn said that we think of you so often, it will get better. Yes, yes, it will. Um, gotta stay positive, gotta be optimistic, and yes, things will get better. Um, so yeah, so what the plan is for SOP Lifestyle Production going forward is we are going to push our big trips that we had planned, our experiences that we wanted to start doing for Maldives, Australia, Antarctica, and Africa. Those are the five that I have in mind for the next 5 years. We're going to push them all back at least 1 to 2 years. So we won't even start the first major experience till 2022, possibly even 2023. So it's all up in the air. It's all determined on whether we are able to find a good place, how cases are around the world, and whether we are able to travel safely again. Because safety is paramount. Health, your health and my health and everyone's health around the world, I think it's much more important than going on a vacation. So I will not be doing any trips to anywhere else in the world until everything is under control. Quotation mark. Under control can mean a lot of different things for different people. So yeah, we'll play everything by ear and we'll go from there. For our four takeovers that we have every year, SLT in May 2021, it's still on schedule. It was postponed from May 2020 in Vernon, and it's still on schedule for May of 2021. Having said that, with all the cases that are increasing around the world, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on how things are looking, and then we'll come up with a solution that will benefit everybody. If we have to postpone everything one more year just to be safe, I will be willing to do that. And so I'm hoping that everybody will understand as well and join me in being positive and kind of continuing to keep an eye on how things are looking, and we'll just postpone things to the following year if we have to, just to make sure that we are all safe and healthy. For other clubs and other cruises and everything like that, each company have their own policy. And right now, as I said before, Naughty Nolans is on schedule in November. The Bliss cruise for November was canceled, and so those of you who are booked, you should have received an email or a phone call from me or from Lynn and Brian or whoever your booking agent is regarding your option for that cruise. A lot of the people who were on the canceled April and November Bliss cruise this year had the option to transfer the cabin to 2021 or 2022. 2021 November Bliss Cruise, the one that we're booked on, which is going to be the largest lifestyle cruise ever, it's booking up really fast because of the two canceled cruise. That cruise is filling up really quickly. There are still a handful of balcony cabins left and some interior cabins left. So if you're thinking of booking a vacation that is far away enough and yet still close enough to plan for, the Bliss 2021 cruise in November will probably be a good option because it is still over a year away. And for those of you who are wondering about the cancellation policy for the Bliss cruise, what happened this year for April and November was that when RCL canceled the cruises, Bliss was able to give people back a refund because RCL canceled, therefore they can get the money back from RCL. If you cancel before the cruise is canceled, the normal cancellation policy still applies. So if you are able to wait until we know for sure if the cruise will be canceled or not, then you are able to get a refund from them, a full refund, or transferring your cruise to a future cruise. So that's kind of where things are with that. Bliss had offered either a full refund or a transfer to a future cruise for their two canceled cruise this year in 2020. And if things continue the way they are, it is a good safe bet that that's the same offer that will be solution they'll be offering if RCL cancels the cruises in 2021. So stay tuned. I will definitely be posting updates about that once I get more information. There are a couple other cruises that are scheduled for 2021 as well. Desire has two cruises as well as LLV. Those cruises are on schedule still, and basically make sure you just keep an eye out on your email to see any updates from them as the time gets closer to those cruises. Jamaica for Hito and Cancun for Desire and Temptation are still open. The resorts are still open, and that you are able to fly in. You just have to remember that as Canadians, when you come home, you are required to self quarantine and self isolate for 14 days. So just keep that in mind. For a lot of people, they can't swing the extra 2 weeks just to go on a 2 week vacation. So that's something to think about for that kind of travel. Let's see. I'm gonna pause right here and ask if anybody who's watching right now, if you have any questions for me. Hi, Neves. And I wanted to kind of answer any questions that you may have for any of the events or the cruises or anything like that coming up. 2020 basically is a no-go for basically all events. The only one that's still scheduled is Naughty and Nolans. And for 2021, we are going to be playing the waiting game still. And with cases increasing around the world, France and Germany went into lockdown again, or I think it's a partial lockdown. I have to read the article again, but France and Germany are going back into either a partial lockdown or a full lockdown for the next 4 weeks because their cases over there are overwhelming their hospitals and the ICU beds. So that's something that we do not want to see here in BC. And for those of you who are in BC, you probably heard that the cases have increased drastically in the last week, probably due to Thanksgiving. And so the new restriction now is that no more than 6 people in a gathering, especially and also with mask and social distancing, physical distancing, I should say. So we are at the point now where we really need to make sure we are following the guidelines and taking all the precaution as we are continuing to take to make sure that our hospital and healthcare don't get overwhelmed, because that will lead to some pretty bad consequences. Because if the hospitals are full and overwhelmed, if you have a non-COVID injury or illness, you may not get seen in appropriate time. So we want to make sure that we take care of each other that way. Let's see. Okay, so BC, we are still not in lockdown. We haven't been in lockdown at all. Um, and so I'm really hoping that we won't be in lockdown. But since I have a home office, I've been working at home anyways and only going out for essentials, and then once in a while going out for a meal with a friend just to see, just kind of get out into the world and do a little bit shopping kind of thing. I had a chance to go to Okanagan last week, earlier this month, with a friend for her vacation, and we did some wine tasting around. So it was a really good research trip for me to see what wineries we can include for our wine experience in May, as well as in Vernon, for those of you who are interested, where you can go and check things out. And so I'm just kind of compiling information of things that we can add to the takeovers and experience for May next year, if it's able to go ahead safely. Um, let's see. So yeah, as 2020 winds down to a close, we're heading into our holiday season, which will look very different this year from previous years. I am going to be taking on a part-time job for the next few months, just to supplement, just to get some income to help pay the bills that I've been living off line of credits kind of thing. So this will be the last Facebook Live Q&A for 2020. I'm going to be working almost full time for the next few months, so I will take that time just to kind of get some income, kind of try to replenish the line of credit so I can actually continue putting on events. For 2021, I will continue this Facebook Live Q&A just to kind of keep everyone updated. I will probably start the first one in 2021 at the end of January. So keep an eye in the Facebook group and in the newsletter for the date And but in the meantime, if anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to email me, send me a Facebook message, WhatsApp, anything like that, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So yeah, so I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about. Let me just think here. Does anybody have any questions for me so far? Um, it's been a tough year, and I keep saying that every single Facebook Live because it's so true. Um, and if you are finding things hard as well, make sure to reach out to uh, any appropriate healthcare professional that can help you. I've been talking to my doctor, my therapist, I've been to RMTs and chiropractor just to kind of try and stay grounded a little bit. Um, Anxiety is a big issue too. So, and sometimes medication helps. And from personal experience. So maybe talk to your doctor and see if something that can work for you. And yeah, thanks, Jocelyn. I really appreciate everybody for reaching out and saying hi and kind of keeping in touch. Your support is so welcome, and basically, you guys are the reason why I put on an event. So I really do appreciate everybody and your thoughts and your love. And yeah, so hopefully I will get to see all of you guys in 2021 because 2020 there is no events right now. But yeah, so keep in touch. I will be on Facebook very little. As part of my mental health, I've been off Facebook and Twitter and only checking it once a day, and just to keep myself from going down a very bad news spiral. So, but yeah, I will be checking Facebook Messenger and Facebook once a day, and obviously my email and my WhatsApp is up for you guys to reach out as well too. So yeah, I think that's all the things I want to talk about. And so if nobody who's watching right now has any questions for me, I will conclude this live. It will be a short 20-minute live just to kind of end the 2020 year on a uplifting positive note. Um, Love you guys, and I will talk to you guys in January. Thanks. Bye.